1. A Seventh Age, the Second Fall, and the Rise of the Nuns. Religion is the key of history. Lord Acton. A Seventh Age. One of the more intriguing observations about the flow of history surfaced in an important essay written just after the Second World War that I was introduced to while studying at Oxford University in England. It was written by a historian named Christopher Dawson. In it, he makes the case that there have been 6 identifiable ages in relation to the Christian church and faith, each lasting for 3 or 4 centuries and each following a similar course. Each of these ages began and then ended in crisis. The heart of each crisis was the same: intense attack by new enemies from within and from outside the church, which in turn demanded new spiritual determination and drive. Without this determination and drive, the church would have lost the day. Dawson accounted for 6 such ages at the time of his writing. I believe we are now living at the start of another. We are at the end of an age and stand at the beginning of another, a 7th age. I am not alone in sensing we live in a pivotal time. Political strategist Doug Sosnick is famed in Washington circles for his closely held, big think memos on the state of American politics. He believes the United States is going through the most significant period of change since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Years from now, Sosnick argues, we are going to look back at this period of time and see it as a hinge moment, a connection point that ties 2 historical periods in time, one before and one afterwards. Identifying these hinge moments is actually a deeply biblical idea. The Bible lauds the men of Issachar for being sensitive to exactly these kinds of dynamics. From the tribe of Issachar, there were 200 leaders. All these men understood the signs of the times and knew the best course for Israel to take. 1 Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 32, New Living Translation. That tandem, knowing the signs of the times and how best to live in light of them, is key. So, what signs are going to mark this 7th age? Few are unaware of the economic uncertainty, global instability, technological advances, and demographic transitions that abound. But what specifically are the trends, the patterns, the movements, and most of all, in relation to Dawson's thesis, the crises from within and from without the church that we should pay attention to? There are quite a few from which to choose. From within the Christian movement itself, there is the expansion of Christianity southward in Africa, Asia, and Latin America that can only be called explosive. And with it, the new challenge of the globalization of Christianity. Philip Jenkins argues that by the year 2050, only 1 Christian out of 5 will be a non-Latino white person, and the center of gravity of the Christian world will have shifted firmly to the southern hemisphere. The challenges this will bring are enormous, including the relationship between the Western and the non-Western church, which has not always been an easy one. Another significant challenge is the continued rise of Islam, and whether Islam will modernize peacefully, or we will continue to have what Samuel Huntington presciently called the clash of civilizations that has so defined our world since 9/11. In other words, will the future of Islam be the model of, say, Indonesia or that of ISIS? Of equal global importance is what will lead China once Marxism falls. Will it be some form of continued authoritarianism, a national socialism, a type of Buddhism, or the surfacing of the underground Christian church? Another major crisis to be reckoned with on a different front is the radical redefinition of the most foundational institutions within creation itself, marriage and family. No longer is family defined as a male husband and a female wife, much less involving children. Male with male.